Good afternoon, everybody. Scarlet Shark here to give you guys an interview with a Smash player who, when I first met him, he was a literal child. Now he is an adult who's in one of the hardest colleges in Panama, and apparently did Pokemon when it came to Smogon as well as Smash Ultimate. Yes, we do not know if he is a master, but it's a good chance that he might be a sadist, especially when you find out who his main is. Anyway, let's welcome Diego Perez, aka Dackt, to the show. Dackt.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I might be a masochist. I don't know. Personally, some people tell me that.
All right.
Yeah. What's good? Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So, let's get this started. How did you discover Smash?
I started when I had a Wii. I was like as a little kid, like a 3-year-old. Oh, sorry, can I swear?
Yeah, you can swear. We'll just have our editor bleep.
Okay, I'll just stop myself from swearing when I can.
All right.
When I was a literal child, I was like 3 years old, and we had a Wii, and my brother got Brawl, and that was how I started playing Smash. Although not competitively, no. I started just playing for fun. I really liked Space Emissary. That was like one of my favorite games, period. I didn't even play like free for alls. I just played Space Emissary. Really, that's like the most I put into.
That makes sense. Do you ever give it Melee a chance?
No, I've never had a GameCube. I've actually never played on a GameCube in my entire life. Not one. Not even Sunshine, which I want to do. I want to play Mario Sunshine, but I haven't. Just because I've never touched a GameCube in my entire life.
I see. So anyway, on that note, getting to Smash Ultimate. We know that your main is Greninja, who is considered to be one of the most difficult characters in Smash. Why him?
See, I don't agree calling him difficult. At least on paper, he doesn't seem difficult. I think it's one of those cases where you realize how something can be easy in theory, but in practice, because of how mentally taxing it is, becomes a lot harder. Sorry, I hope that's all. This happens with a lot of characters, mainly the hidden ones. It's like CSS, which is Zero Suit Samus, Cheek, Sonic to some extent. I mean, Sonic looks easy, right? Most people hate Sonic for that reason. But no, he's just very mentally taxing. He's not hard to execute. He's just very taxing on the brain. Like when I play on bracket, on the latter end, I get burnt hard, which is something I'm working on. But I just like how he moves, man. He's just very fluid. His combos feel good when they hit. I also just really like Pokemon. Like when I got XY, which was my first Pokemon game. At least personal, because of course I had Mon's games before. But the first game that was mine was actually a Pokemon game, and it was Pokemon XY. It was Y actually, because I prefer Yveltal. I got it on my 2DS. And then my starter was Greninja, of course. That's why wouldn't it be? So when I played Smash, I originally liked playing Greninja casually on Smash 4. I just really liked how he move. He looks very fluid. His up special, I don't know why, just feels nice to water people. And the Shuriken is just a very quick, nice poke. Everything just feels nice to hit. There's nothing on the entire kit of the character that feels off, which I really like.
It's very good. And it's interesting that you mentioned Pokemon X and Y there because, yeah, I think this is the one time you got to ask for a Ninja player this. But do you think he deserved to win the league in the end?
Of course it did. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not mad at all that he lost. Because goddamn, that Gen 8 league was hype. It was good. So I'm not mad at all. Like, of course, when I was little and I saw, like, he should have won. He literally had it. Everything was lined up for him to win. It was his time. He had his own version, bro. Like, how do you make a Pokemon, then give it a unique version an entire generation later and tell me it's not supposed to be the time where Ash wins the league? They started the line and it still did not come out on top. How? But I really liked how Ash won later on, so I don't mind as much. that he lost that one. It was part of the process. It was part of the process. It needed to happen. It needed to happen. I accept that now.
Right. So, as we said at the start of this, like, when you first entered the Smash scene in Panama, you were a literal child.
When I was a literal child,
We realized, where's this kid's kid?
10, 13.
And now, as an adult, looking back,
Yeah.
how is it growing up surrounded by the Smash scene in Panama?
See, people talk a lot of trash about the Smash scene in general, but I think Panama, the Smash scene we have here, because it's less competitive focused than all of the scenes elsewhere, like the US. It's more just community, really. Everyone is just friend. Like you go to a tournament and you're just vibing. It's not as much about the competition. Of course, you're still competing. You want to win, but it feels more of just a place to vibe. So I feel like that's a huge part of why the community felt very appealing to me as a child. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I would have stuck around if the community was as bad as people make it out to be on the US. Here in Panama, it was fine though. I really think it was a good community, and it still is. It hasn't changed much. Still the same people, they're just older. And I still think it's just as inviting as it was back then for smaller children to join in.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, the Smash scene, for as much as we have memed about how crazy it can get and
Yeah, I guess.
Marsh's odd how horrifying it can get,
Yes.
I gotta admit, they're actually very welcoming and pretty friendly.
Yeah, there's surprisingly friendly, like everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, just people have dark secrets, I guess.
Yeah, speaking of which, though, if we're talking about like something that was pretty controversial in Smash, is Steve. What are your thoughts on Steve?
I hate it so. See, I'm so glad that every Steve here sucks, because I can beat their cheeks every single time I fight them, because they don't know how to play the game, nor the character. But I swear, if we had a good Steve player here, God, it would be so bad. I really wish we don't get it. Personally, I don't think Steve is healthy at all. I think Steve and Kazuya are probably two of the most unhealthy characters. I know you did not mention Kazuya, but I think both are extremely unhealthy for the metagame as a whole. For very polar reasons. I think Steve just draws out games too much, and he gets too polarizing as it goes through. Well, Steve is just, Kazuya. Kazuya just polarizing the entire time. So both somehow being polar opposites in how they play, they manage to cause the same issue, which is drawn out passive games.
Let's see.
If people try to play them optimal. Now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, Panama is not a region where people try to play optimal. They just try to play personal. Like how they want to play, they focus more on that. They focus more on playing how they want to and making that some way or another win than trying to forego what they want to do and just focus on winning, which I think is very cool actually. How everyone, it feels like when I usually fight someone, I'm not fighting just the character, it feels like I'm fighting a person, which I think it's very nice. But there are times when I do play online, the sad metagame of online, where Steve does thrive, Steve does exist, and I have to fight that character. And it's not fun. It's really not. I have to play so slow, so passive. And then if I mess up like twice, I lose my stock. And then I mess up 6 times and I lose the game. I mess up 18 times and I lose the set. Like, that's not fun. No.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with you on people here often trying to go for their own style of gameplay instead of playing optimally, because you're talking to the one Pokemon trainer here who mains Charizard mainly and tries to stay with him as much as...
Hold. Wasn't Dante Blake also very Charizard heavy? I'm pretty sure he was.
remember, actually.
I think what it was.
Like,
Actually have no clue. Like, Noah exists still. Why not? Sometimes. He doesn't attend as much as he did before. But then the break just disappeared. I don't know.
We could
what
ask
happened
Dackt.
to the break. You're right. We could ask Deku. That's so true. That is so true.
Anyway, we head back to Pokemon, actually, since you do mention it quite a bit. Have you played Scarlet and Violet?
I did. I have. Yeah. I have the game. For sure.
The DLC?
It's a fun game. I think people... I did play the DLC, but I did not play the Pestilence add-on that they put later on.
Yeah, you're only really missing just a Pokemon that is pretty freaking powerful when it comes to poison, and getting a shot to see Nemona interact with the...
Let's be honest. I've used Pestilence competitively though, and that is just BM the Pokemon. That is just BM the Pokemon, because all you do is you hope for poison, and if you poison, you confuse, and then it stacks, and then it just keeps going. Like, that's literally BM the Pokemon. And 160 defense base stat is not fun either. So it goes straight with hazard stack, at least on singles.
Alright.
I think it has like no usage in doubles, like at all.
Yeah, Pokemon has banned in doubles.
It's banned. Oh, right. No mythicals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I honestly don't think it'd be used much unless Malignant Chain hits both targets, which I don't know if it does. Does it?
I'm not sure.
Does it?
It's just in.
Because if it does, then it's also BM the Pokemon in doubles. But hold on, I kind of want to check that.
Yeah, because in VGC, usually we're just like, we right now have to deal with Regulation G, which is Koraidon and Miraidon are now available to use. Add-on Groudon, Kyogre, and all the other big legendaries, and well, VGC is kind of like a fun little madhouse, right?
It is insanely offensive, the metagame right now. Because what I do know is that Spectrier, well, no, Kylerx Shadow, I think that's how you call it, right? Kylerx Shadow. Yeah, Kylerx Shadow. That one is busted, very busted. Especially when you consider Expanding Force, it can Draining Kiss, I think, right? Yeah, I can Draining Kiss. Although it doesn't use it much, because you know what it clicks instead?
Magical.
No, it just clicks Terra Blast. It just needs Terra Blast, and it hits. It just clicks Terra Blast. That's all it does. Like, if it needs coverage for normal and dark types, it just clicks raw Terra Blast. Although, of course, Spectral Barrage is also just insanely busted and not a very fun move. Very stupid move. It should not exist.
Then we talk about Smogon, but I gotta ask, have you ever considered joining the VGC?
I did play VGC for a bit. During quarantine, I did join one VGC tournament from Panama. It was online. And I did very poorly, I'm not gonna lie. That's even before I started playing Smogon, so I did terribly. I didn't have any fundamentals of a competitive ones at all. I won like 2-2 or something. I don't play VGC right now, but I do keep track of it, or this scene that it has internationally.
Okay.
For example, I know the metagame right now is just a lot of cheese. Well, I know what was the last regional? The one that Wolfie Glick won.
Yeah, I think it was that one. Plus, let's be real, we've been dominated by Fluttermane ever since she.
Oh yeah, Fluttermane has. I mean, no, even pre-Chi-Yu, Fluttermane has always dominated. Although I think really the metagame now, all it changes because of the addition of restricted Ubers is that, do you want to go Fluttermane plus more broken, or do you want to go Kylerx Shadow and then something that is not Fluttermane? That's basically it. That's that whole thing. That's the thing. Yeah.
On that note, I do have to kind of also, ask, when it comes to Pokemon and Smash,
Yes.
which is the more insane game?
Insane in general, or
In general, not counting.
insane how? I think Pokemon is more insane. But Dackt, that's because I just play multiple metas in Pokemon. For example, I don't play doubles in Smash, at least not competitively. Or, for example, like Smash has so many random metas that people just don't do. Like Squat Strike is not a thing here, for example. I mean, I think it's a loser because
but I don't seem to.
it was not. That was not Squat Strike. That was crew battles,
Okay.
which is not the same. It's not the same. However, it is cool that we do have crew battles, but we do lack doubles and Squat Strike. You had them before, like when I just joined. Seeing people did run Squat Strike and doubles, but I think because of the places where we do tournaments now, they're usually less set up than before.
It is.
Before, not as. Yeah, I think there's just not enough time to run multiple side events and also the main bracket. Because even if I do think in some ways our tournaments have been getting smaller, I find that really, even if they get smaller, because we have less setups now, there's not much of a difference. So it's not like we gained more time because there's less people. It stayed the same. Like we don't have still time to run side events.
Yeah, as someone who rates side events, pretty much my thing, tournaments, yeah, I totally understand that.
I don't fault the TOs at all though. I just think it's an issue of us not having. I mean, granted, I think the venues we have right now are still pretty nice. Like Metro Bowl. I've been going to the Cat Cave recently, a good amount. Mainly because a friend of mine, Ray, he's been wanting to practice a good amount, and we just go there and we practice. Like there's some venue, well, I wouldn't call that our venue, it's more like a spot. But the sites where we play are still fine. I just think that sometimes we don't have as much allotted time as we wish because we lack setups. But that's something we gotta deal with. And that's fine, honestly.
And now to make things a little bit more fun, we're gonna play a little bit of a game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name the names of 10 Smash characters, and you say the first name. Number 1, Cloud.
Back here.
Okay. Ike.
Path of Radiance.
I would say Jim Bro because 1 minute you're playing Ike.
Okay, no. Depends on what Ike alt you're thinking of. Because I don't think of the Radiant Dawn. I think of the Path of Radiance Ike.
If it's Skinny Ike, then yeah, Path of Radiant.
If it's Skinny Ike, yeah, exactly. But I don't think of Buff Ike where he's like, I don't think of that one. I don't think of that one.
Alright.
I crease don't. Because I personally don't like those skins. I think he looks too much.
Alright.
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
Smash 4. Smash 4.
We all remember.
Oh, shit. Even for those who haven't played it and they join, they just know. You just gotta know the history. Bayonetta ruined that game. Yeah. Skewer, I guess.
I think so, but we can also thank him for his great sacrifice when Smash Ultimate was revealed and they did that tournament, that small invitational where Sakurai saw Bayonetta completely destroyed Ridley. And
Oh yeah, that is right. That is true. Which, by the way, I still find it very funny how Bayonetta, if you realize, looked a lot stronger in the tournament. Which a lot of people could guess, or I think it's pretty obvious really, that they nerfed Bayo for that tournament. They're like, okay, we grab Smash 4 from Bayo, we put it on the tournament. Okay, it's still too strong. We nerf her again. And now, people thought, oh, she's terrible. And somehow, her meta developed enough again to where now she's considered a high tier. That's insane. She didn't get that many buffs, I don't think.
yeah, I don't think so.
Other than like up tilt, I think got faster, and that's why they can up tilt back air now. which honestly is huge. Oh, and Jab got buffed. That's actually true. Jab got buffed and Nick kills. That was a good buff. That was a very important buff. But otherwise, it didn't get that many buffs.
Right. Speaking of controversial,
Violence.
what is that left?
3 houses. I just think that's a good game, really. I don't get what people hate Violet. I think that's a great game.
Okay.
It's a great game.
Lucaria.
Platinum, Pokemon Platinum. Although if we're thinking of Smash terms, Aura, definitely Aura. Very thanks to its own Lucario. He's literally Goku. You beat him up and he somehow comes back stronger and stronger. And then he kills you like at 20. Like, that's, what can I tell you?
Min.
Arms. Although if I want to be more accurate, Ram. It's just Ram.
Sephiroth.
Final Fantasy VII. I don't think Sephiroth is as memorable as people think in Smash. Although his kit is clearly very personalized, but I think just the fact that he's not as good as people wanted it to be made him not as knowledgeable for the game.
I think I got one that might be hilarious, but it might be hilarious to Panamania player.
Okay.
Peach.
And
Let's be real. Peach is Anne.
Andy, like, what do you want to tell you? Like, it's Andy, bro. Like if you told me, I don't know, Rosa, I'll tell you Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I could tell you no way. I could say no way.
Or Luma.
Or Luma, that's facts. I forget every other time that Luma technically still has a Rosa. Like the other tournament I went to and Luma was there, he randomly counterpicked Rosa. He never uses the character, but he just randomly still plays it. I don't know why. That character sucks. Why do you use it? Why? Why do you do this? He plays Paramitra. You play Paramitra. Why do you use that character? You play something so much better. Why? Just why? Why? I don't get it.
All right, and
Doesn't need to.
wrap this part up.
Yes.
Jigglypuff.
Rest.
Hungry Box would have been an acceptable option.
Well, Sing, I think, is more memorable than Hungrybox. But I don't know. I mean, I do think of Hungrybox when I think of Jigglypuff, but I think Hungrybox at this point is more than just Jigglypuff. So it doesn't really come to mind as strong as it did before.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, Jigs is fun. And I think he's people.
Yeah. Like when I think of Hungrybox, I think of Coinbox, which is the online tournament series that he runs.
Or Nick All-Star 2, where he's been showing a lot of hype for it.
That is true. He might actually play that competitively, which would be interesting. I do wonder how he's going to do.
Have you played Nick All-Star 2?
I've not played a single Nick All-Stars. Sadly, I did not try the first one, and I have not played the second.
Well, the good news is that as far as it goes, this one is more polished, has more playable characters. This is about Heather McLean.
Do you still get zoomed off the stage every like 30 seconds?
Not really, no.
Okay, good. Because I think Nick All-Stars, at least from what I was told, it was just a bad spectator experience. Because it was very hard to track what happened on screen.
Well, nowadays it's actually a lot easier to track on stage, and
Good.
just as an added incentive, Squidward
Yeah,
isn't.
that's a hidden incentive. That is gonna be my main.
And you know what his final smash is?
If I do get the game. What is it? Is it the flute? It's the flute. For sure, it's a flute.
No, it's
What is it?
Handsome Squidward.
Damn.
Anyway, that being said, Dackt, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Honestly, this was literally one of the most fun things I've had in a while. Again, we should have you rant on Luma and his usage of Rosa more often.
It's so useless, man. It's so useless. The only thing I'll give him props for is because he went to Cumbre, the first Cumbre. He pulled that Rosa. I think it was for... I don't remember what it was. I think he beat a Steve with Rosa. Which makes no sense. That is the best character against Steve. No, Steve is the best character against Rosa. Yeah, Steve is the best character against Rosa, in theory. And he still beat Hunter with it, which is insane. That should not have happened. But yeah, I will give him props for that, but he could have done it with Pirate Mithra, so. I don't care.
All right, which is funny. So anyway, thank you so much for coming. This was amazing.
Think you're right.
So with that being said, Shark signing off. Hold on till I finish the recording.